All right, yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tobias, myself, Shaq. All right, we know the games are wrapped up. Last game 1-1, Man United, Chelsea. But we're not talking about Man United or Chelsea. Arsenal. Are Arsenal going backwards? They've been there for Arteta's been there for 5 years now. Close to 600 million. They're 7 points off Liverpool after 10 games. There's a massive myth that they've got loads of injuries, and they haven't. They've had basically one, really. Odegaard is a long-term injury. A couple was suspensions. That's their own fault. So that's not really injuries. And they're fourth. Could be fifth. £500 million spent.
If they 800 mil, I think he spent.
Well, in the last I swear it's close 500-600. I remember hearing it, but over 5 years,
he's closer to 800 mil, mate.
Bro, I don't know about 800. That's more like that's more like Man United, bro. It's more like Ten Hag. But yeah, about five. But regardless, 500 mil. I think it's 500-600 mil. 5 years, one FA Cup. They've been together for a long time now. If they, for example, come fourth and win no trophy, is it like the end of Mikel Arteta? Or are they just doing their plan and waiting for hoping Pep to leave? Because I think they have to go super close this year. If they don't, I think they've gone backwards.
They've got a style of play, though, isn't it?
They have. They've got a style of play.
Nothing else matters, isn't it? They can finish top four and they've got a style of play. Nothing else matters, isn't it?
Bro, they've got a style of play. I don't agree with the style of play. They have a style of play.
They've got a style of play.
They have a style of play.
So everything's okay, isn't it? They can live. They don't need to win nothing.
It's not about Man United. You're not going to be manager for that. You've got to be manager for the 50th time, innit? You've got to do that.
They can finish second, third, fourth, as long as they're in Europe. That's all that matters, isn't it? That's the feeling amongst people like yourself, anyway. More so.
It's about style of play. I'm just talking about. We're not talking about Man United. I'm just talking about Arsenal. I'm talking about. It's not about style of play. They have got a style of play, but for being there for 5 years, the money they have spent, that to me, in my opinion, if they don't win the league, I believe that's a failure, because they've been there long enough now. The players have been there long enough. They've challenged for a couple of years, took it to the last game of the season, but we have said over on previous podcasts, they've been lucky with injuries. When they've got injuries, can Arteta maneuver the squad and still get results? On basis on what's happening at the moment, he can't do that.
I've never been fully sold on Arteta, personally. I think he's... I would like to say he's done well. I just think whatever's happened. He's finished second. Not done much else anywhere else. The FA Cup he won was with a team that he didn't want, so we can sort of halfway disregard that because it was with players he didn't want anyway. His signings, I thought his signings have been a bit weird. I thought initially when Jesus come in, he was going to look better than what he has done, but he's just gone back to same old Jesus. You can't find him anywhere. Vieira, I think he spent 40 million. You can't see him again.
He's out on loan. He's out on loan somewhere.
Is he?
He's out on loan.
I ain't got a clue, but I haven't seen him since he's been signed, really. Moreno, the Moreno-Partey situation, like wanting to fit them both in the team. If we're looking at the Newcastle game where he puts Partey right back when you got Ben White that has played there last season and arguably one of the better right backs in the league for the season, but you want to play Moreno, so you put Partey right back. Terrible decision because he lacks pace in those areas. He's going to get isolated. He's not a right back.
He's not a right back. He's just a midfield player. He's a DM.
Right. Martinelli looks like he's gone backwards for me.
But I've never been a fan. I've said on previous. I think he's bang average. He's just he's just another winger. I think there's an upgrade. I think they can upgrade on him.
I think you may not be right, but I think when he was hot, he was hot, and you can't argue that. When he was hot, he looked like.
Well, the thing is, I think Tobias, he was just hot with no end product. He was just easy on the eye, just done nothing.
But still, he still hasn't improved or progressed. Regardless, he was still a young player. He was still raw. He still had ability, I believe. So he hasn't improved, sort of regressed. Saka, productive, consistent, but you're looking at a player that's been overused and he's due injuries this season, so you wouldn't be surprised given how much he's been used at club level and at international level. Odegaard, massive player for them in terms of he does make them tick. You can argue that he's one of those players that doesn't get the final assist all the time, but he's involved in the build-up.
Yeah, but one player shouldn't make them be so bad. He's the only long-term injury, and they're literally putting their hat on this guy.
Yeah.
And I do think he's one of the best, if not the best, number 10 in the league. He knits everything together. But it shouldn't be where they fell off a cliff since he's been injured.
I don't know if they fell off a cliff. I just think we said the same last year. They lack that striker, and they lack the bench, and that's their failures. You've spent a lot of money and you lack the bench. I sympathise because I looked at my team today and we spent all that money. I don't know where, because I'm looking up top and it's just terrible. But you got Havertz leading the line. He's not a striker. He's done well. He will do well at times, but to lay your hat on him to win you the league, terrible decision. So you're playing like the 4 centre-back brigade.
But Tobias, I thought I'd put it on like Declan Rice. They spent £100 million on him. I just feel when you spend like 3 figures on a player, he's supposed to be the game changer to get you over the line. I think this season he's been absolutely terrible. Maybe burnt out from the Euros. So there's maybe a case that's why his performances haven't been the best. But when you spend, I know we haven't, and we've said this before. We haven't been. We always think he's a good player, but he's not £100 million player. But they've spent £100 million on him. I know it's not him that's made the price tag. But I think when you spend that type of player or that type of money on a player, they're supposed to be the game changer. For example, when Van Dijk, when we spent all that money, he changed it with Alisson. You know, when you spend that type of money, if like, for example, when you go back to Man United, when you got Van Persie, that got you came runners up the year before. You got Van Persie, that got you over the line to win the league. Them type of players, when you spend that money on them type of players, they're supposed to be the game changer. And I just feel that they're still the same. They're still the same with him.
The problem is with that is that he isn't even the player that they thought he was to begin with. They thought they was going to bring him in and it was going to take over Partey's position. Partey was meant to be on the road a long time ago, but he was unable to fulfill that low and 6 role because his capabilities on the ball and the way they want to play, it didn't suit his style. So I sympathise with the amount of money because it's not Declan's fault. I've never been his biggest fan, but he doesn't dictate the transfer fee. West Ham did. They got great money for him, great business. Is he £100 million player? No, he can't do everything. That's not his type of game. He is literally a box-to-box man. He will give you endeavour,
but with no goals and assists.
He will give you endeavour. That's it. He will put his heart on his sleeve. He will run, kick a man. Like, I'm not trying to sort of undermine him, but yeah, that's the best I can offer him. I see him on set pieces nowadays. I don't know where that's going, but
he's got a good delivery. To be honest. He has.
But if you're telling me he's got the best delivery out of all the players on the pitch, then it's a struggle. I don't believe that either. But it's not Declan's fault. They spent that amount on a player. Ultimately, they're still suffering where most teams are struggling, and that's with an out-and-out striker.
I don't know. I hear you. I just think with Arsenal, I think you need to twinker their style of play. I think they're very defensive. They're very boring. I watched them. They're the one side at the top six that they are very, very boring to watch. I've tried to watch Arsenal a few times. I just think they're very boring. They're very compact. They have got overall when everyone's fit. The reason why they've got a great defense because basically they've got four centre backs playing as a back four when everybody's fit with two
But they got
DMs.
great defense. They've conceded the same amount of goals, elite goals as us.
No, but I'm just saying that when everybody's fit, reason being is that their defense is so-called strong. Is that they've got basically four centre halves playing with two DMs basically with when everyone's fit. So they're very compact. They're very compact in the way they play. When Odegaard's there, he knits it together. But I just think they haven't kicked on, and I felt they were going to kick on. And I think if they came fourth and don't win a trophy, I think maybe it's time for him to move on. He's been there for 5 years now.
Six
seasons, and you've won nothing, basically. Won nothing.
Well, Chelsea, I think with that draw, overtake them today. So I think that might push him into fifth.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's Nottingham Forest third, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might push him into fifth. They've got Chelsea next week, massive game for them.
Yeah. I think that makes and breaks everything. If Chelsea win, I think they're done.
And now he hasn't got no one's got the safety blanket anymore. Ten Hag was everyone's safety blanket. You know, now everyone needs a new villain. Do you know what I'm saying? And Arteta's going to be that. And Arteta's name is on that chopping block right now with all the things that you've said.
I think Arsenal. I've said sorry. I think Man City are favourites to win the league, and I think they will win the league. But I think what will be banging and damning if, for example, Arne Slot wins the league in his first season, then I think Arsenal fans will turn on Arteta.
But listen, although you can say Man City are favourites for obvious reasons, just through consistency alone.
Yeah. But it's wide open.
Arne can't do no wrong. Like he can't do no wrong at the minute. With doing nothing transfer wise, he's doing great. I'm not solely convinced. I see weaknesses, but either that's here or there.
I know. But it's everyone. It's everyone though, Tobias. I look at everyone. Yeah. Everyone's got frailties this year. Everyone. I think it's wide open.
With Rodri being out, we know his importance, and I think the importance of that is showing, especially when you're coming up against teams like Bournemouth that are giving you a toasting. Although they did the same to Arsenal the week prior. These so-called smaller teams are not playing around at the minute. You got Nottingham Forest pulling up trees. Got Bournemouth killing all the big teams. Yeah, it's not looking good right now for anyone. But if we go back to Arsenal, I think it's now it all also comes now because they're, like I said about the safety blanket. Now papers need that new villain, don't they? So
I don't even think it's a villain. I just think that these are the facts.
No, it is a fact.
5 years, one FA Cup.
This could have been spoken about prior to this now, but
I think it was. I actually think it was. If they didn't if they don't push for the league or they don't win the league, I think people are starting to get
emphasized now because it's going to be emphasized on every single result now.
Yeah,
like Arsenal, and now it's going to be important. Now you're going to see what type of team Arsenal are, whether they've changed from being so-called bottlers, because now it's the pressure. Now you're looking at, it's not pressure of going for the title, it's pressure of maintaining a title challenge now, or maintaining a top 4 challenge. You're hearing murmurs within the fan base, and the last club you need that to happen to is Arsenal, because we know how that ends. And once you start getting them groans at the Emirates, let's see how the players react.
It can get toxic very quick. No.
It can get toxic very quick. And I know this because we are the new Man United fans are the new Arsenal fans in that regard. But yeah, you're going to start seeing it. And they better win against Chelsea. I do see them winning against Chelsea, if I'm honest. Watching Chelsea today, you nullify Cole Palmer, you're in with a chance. And so it looks. So it seems like baffles. What's mad for me is that you can now see why they brought the Lavia and Calcedo, but where does Enzo fit in? he just doesn't seem to fit in anymore.
Yeah, he's basic. I think
The Sancho thing's wild to me because Neto was their best attacking player today and seems to be their best winger. So I'm not sure where Sancho fits in. But we'll see. The next week, every game now, the league all of a sudden is getting interesting. With the injury to Rodri, seems like a leveler for everyone. It's massive. And Savinho being out, like Man City have had a couple of big injuries. I'm not sure how long Savinho is out for. But the way he come off, the reaction seemed like it was going to be a long time.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. What do you think of Arteta if they don't really challenge for the title? Tobias, last word.
Slot out, man. I'm sick of you smiling.
Oh, yes, look.
I'm